New information from Representative James Comer and the House Oversight Committee shows that the Biden family has received upwards of $20 million from multiple countries paying through Hunter Biden or James Biden or Frank Biden to Joe Biden. So this number keeps going up. It was initially several $1 million, $5 or $6 million, then over $10 million, now over $20 million. So this is really how the Bidens got rich. The Bidens didn't get rich any other way. They have no other business. They have no other form of getting money. By and large, the Biden brothers are bums, by which I mean they have no way of getting anything approaching this kind of money. They have put themselves into a company, the brand of which is Joe Biden. So Joe Biden's official status, his access to power and influence, his wielding of power and influence, that's what they are selling. They're leveraging that for cash, and the cash, of course, kicks back to Joe Biden himself, as well as to other members of the family. Now, how does this system kind of work? One way we can understand it is by looking at a particular deal. I'm going to focus on a Chinese energy company that is called CEFC China Energy. And this Chinese energy company was envisioned itself as trying to buy energy assets in the United States. Why? This was part of the big Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, the Chinese making investments, which they are doing all over Asia, in the Middle East, in South America, in Africa. So why not in the United States acquire energy assets? And this company, which was run by this guy named Yi Jianming, wanted to do, as part of this Belt and Road Initiative, buy energy properties and energy companies in the United States. But they needed to figure out a way to do that. And they realized, well, how about if we bring the Bidens into this? They sort of represent the U.S. government. And if we can get Joe Biden on our side, then this will open all kinds of doors to us. This will actually give us smooth sailing. And in fact, it's going to put us kind of above criticism, above scrutiny. After all, the Bidens are involved. So this is very much what Devin Archer testified, Hunter Biden's business partner. Biden was the brand. Joe Biden was the brand. And there will be a deal between one of the most prominent families from the U.S., that's the Bidens, and China, constructed by me. This is Hunter Biden's business partner, James Gilliar, and he's texting Tony Bobulinski. Remember, Tony Bobulinski was also brought in to be part of the Biden operation. Now, this all seems to have begun all the way back in 2015. In 2015, Hunter Biden meets with the CEFC executive director, a guy named Zhangjun Zhang. And this is right there on Hunter Biden's laptop. So you can see the schedule for that meeting. And then discussions begin about how this company, CEFC Energy, can leverage the influence of the Bidens. And a kind of a memo of understanding is sent and circulated within the Bidens. Hunter Biden agrees to sign. And this company now begins its courtship of the Bidens. This fellow Yi, whom I mentioned, meets with Hunter Biden, gives him a 3-carat diamond. Kind of a, here's a little gift to show our goodwill. I mean, this happens all over Asia. People, when they meet each other, and this is whether you're brokering a marriage arrangement or a business deal, you give a gift. And so the gift here, Oriental style, happens to be a diamond. Joe Biden also meets with the CEFC officials, according to an FBI interview report of Rob Walker, made public by IRS whistleblowers in their testimony to Congress. It's emails from Bobulinski referencing deals that deal with the big guy. Remember that the big guy deserves 10%? That's all in connection with this particular deal. And this is the same deal that Hunter Biden sent the stinging message to the CEFC executive. Remember where he said, I'm sitting with my dad. You haven't made the payment. I'm getting very angry. We will both lash out at you if you don't make the payment. The payment is due now. So this is the way that the Bidens, kind of very mafia style, cash in. Listen, you were owed the money. You better pay right now or bad things will happen to you. And Hunter Biden and his associates and family members got millions of dollars in payments. They got consulting money. They got attorney attorney's fees, even though the Chinese in the end didn't get anything. Why? Because this is a complicated business. They wanted to set up these energy companies, but the whole thing kind of collapsed, not because the Bidens didn't come through. The Bidens came through. It collapsed at the other end of it. What happened is that this guy, Ye, was reportedly placed under house arrest. Another guy named Patrick Ho, who's apparently an executive of the same company, was arrested for bribery and money laundering. And so from the Chinese side, there were legal problems that came up, partly from China, and the whole deal fell apart. But nevertheless, it's an anatomy of the way in which, and I think to some degree, Biden has been doing this probably from his days going back to the Senate. But he was probably doing it in the United States, shaking down companies in Delaware and elsewhere in order to basically get money for himself. And this is where this is how you buy the house. This is how you buy a second car. One interesting little detail is that one of the companies, I think this was a company, I can't remember if it was, I think it was Kazakhstan, has now revealed that they sent $142,000 to Hunter Biden to buy a car for himself. So the Bidens are used to we'll do favors for you if you do favors for us. And this is how millions of dollars have flowed into the Biden family's bank accounts. Have you heard about the Durban Accords? They're the greatest threat to the US dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years. On August 22nd, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are expected to announce the launch of a new international supercurrency fully backed by gold or other commodities. It's part of their long-term plan to supplant the US and the dollar as cornerstones of the global financial system. Well, how can you protect your savings, your IRA, your 401k from the fallout from this landmark announcement? Well, you can diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which is, of course, right now. Get a free information kit on gold IRAs. Decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Text the word Dinesh to 989898. A monumental shift is happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, starting August 22nd. So protect your retirement savings. Get started. Check into it. Text Dinesh to the number 989898. Claim your free information kit on gold from Birch Gold.